So I've moved a little bit further along. It's the sun's at the back of me, so, and I'm a bit further up the beach now. It's nice and a little sunny spot. Still quite early in the morning. I thought it was going to be warmer than it was, because I was down here yesterday and it was not quite as early as this, but fairly early in the morning, and it was roasting, you know. I'm not very good with the heat, so yeah, I thought it was going to be warmer. I'm only in my shirt sleeves, you know. I've got a t-shirt on, so it is a bit chilly, really. I really hope I'm not becoming a southern softie from being down here. I never used to have a problem with the cold, but maybe I'm acclimatising a bit too much to the warm weather. Although saying that, I've been down south for the best part of a couple of years now, but yeah, it's not. I don't love the summer. I don't. I much prefer the winter, you know, and that's always. That's not just over the past 2 years since this went over there. That's been an always thing. I think I've always preferred the winter. I don't know if, more people stay indoors, don't they? It's quieter. I've never been a fan of crowds, even before. I always, if I had to go and buy anything in the city centre near where I lived, I would always make sure to go in early and get out fairly early before the hordes of people arrived, because I don't feel comfortable in crowded environments. I never have, and that's not going to change. So yeah, what I was talking about, paranoia. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm having a cigarette. It's a terrible habit. I keep kind of promising. I've got one of those stupid vapes as well, and I think that's worse for my chest, to be fair, because when I'm using the vape, sometimes I can't breathe going up the stairs. Whereas if I'm smoking, I go outside. I don't smoke inside, so I feel like you have to make a conscious effort to kind of get up and go out, and it's, so you're not doing it all the time. Whereas if you've got one of those bloody vapes, for me anyway, I know the thing is constantly in and out of my mouth, So yeah, I should probably get rid of both, but yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, paranoia. I don't know. Some people are just paranoid. I really think that. I've known people who were just paranoid kind of people, hyper vigilant and really, really conscious of what people around them were doing, and thinking. And in fact, I've got someone that's in my family, and firstly, I hate using that word family because I just don't have one. So anytime that I use the word family, I just want you to yourself, in inverted commas, change that for gangstalkers, because that's absolutely what they are. But yeah, just for reference wise, so you know what I'm talking about, I will use the word, although I absolutely detest it. There's no family as far as I'm concerned. There's only 2 people in the world that I love, and one of them, I think, is, well, I was told is involved in this and a part of this, and whether that's true or not, I don't know. Whether you should trust what these fuckers tell you or say to you, I don't know. But I think the fact that I've had no contact with this person, when I spoke to them pretty regularly, and I seen them pretty regularly, and like I say, they're one of the only 2 people that I love. So, but to go from that to there being absolutely no contact for the last 2 years, kind of speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? It's, the actions kind of speak louder than than any words ever could. So yeah, probably it doesn't. The rest of the fuckers in the so-called family I mean, I couldn't give two shits about. I really couldn't. Those people mean nothing to me. They never have meant anything to me. But the two people that I love, they could do no wrong. They could do anything, and it wouldn't stop me feeling the way that I do. It's never going to change, whether they like that or not. I don't know. Maybe they hate the fact that I still love them, but I'm always going in until I'm in the ground. That won't change regardless. And I don't want to get into that right now, because it's an emotive subject, isn't it? It's something that I maybe spend far too much time thinking of anyway. So I don't want to go into that too much at the moment, but I will, all in good time. So yeah, I had this person in my family, and Jesus, yeah, and he's paranoid as fuck always, from being quite young. Just an absolute paranoia coursing through his veins. So some people are like that. They absolutely are. Some people just, I don't know. They think the fucking world's against them, and everything's been set up as a disaster for them. And I suppose now, looking back with what I know, he wasn't that far off the mark, to be fair. But it makes for a very depressing life, doesn't it? To have that mindset for your whole life. So that wasn't me. I wasn't I wasn't a paranoid person. But I'm just gonna light this cigarette again. It's going out. Excuse me. Yeah, so some people are absolutely paranoid. I get that. I do. But me, no, I'm not. I'm not a paranoid person, and maybe some people that think they're being gang stalked are not being gang stalked. I don't want to take away from anyone what they think is happening to them, and make out that no, it's not. You're just paranoid, because who the fuck am I to say that? But you are your own person. You know yourself. You know the way that you react to things, and maybe if you do think it's a case of paranoia, maybe you should go and speak to somebody and kind of straighten things out in your head, or maybe, kind of do what I did, although I didn't do what I did to try and prove or disprove paranoia, but move away from where you are and see if this thing continues, and I did that just out of sheer fear. And I suppose the hope that maybe it was just happening where I lived. Maybe it was just these these idiot neighbours and people around me. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't. Well, it was, but it followed me. So yeah, it kind of disproves the whole paranoia theory in my case, anyway. And the same for coincidences. People try and throw that shit at you all the time. Oh, it's just a coincidence, is it? I mean, coincidences happen, right? I get that. I'm not totally knocking the fact that coincidences don't happen, but multiple times a day, again and again and again, whatever fucking situation you're in, these coincidences just continue to happen. These people use these, same words and same phrases, or you, you know what I mean? Like the example earlier with the earphones, that's not a fucking coincidence. That's not a coincidence when it's happening every single day, every time you leave the house, and every person that looks at you, or every person that says one of these things to you, that it stops being a coincidence. It's just not. There's no possibility that it's a coincidence. But you try and explain that to anybody, and they just look at you like you're fucking crazy, like you're daft. and they don't. And half of these that I mean, I made the mistake of trying to explain this to people, you know, in the kind of health service, you know, these mental health fucking that loonies. Basically, that's what they are. I mean, they're treating people with mental health conditions. Half of them are fucking nutso. But you try and explain it, and they'll just fucking, you know, push it off and go, you know, it's just coincidence. These things happen, you know. They don't listen to you because it's part of the fucking game, isn't it? It's part of the plan. Part of the plan is to get you diagnosed as being a nut. So, you know, you're not gonna cause any trouble to anybody because it's there. It's in your records. That person's just a fucking nut. Don't listen to them. Who wants to listen to a nut? So that's kind of part of the plan, and I made that mistake. I will again. I'll go into that another time. I made that mistake. I kind of putting trust in these people, or kind of going to them seeking help and thinking that they might listen to me, that they might listen to what had happened, because you know I tried the police, and I mean if you're a target and you I don't need to explain what type of people the police are, so that obviously went as well as you'd expect it went, and so then I thought, yeah, I'll try these doctors and such, and yeah, that obviously didn't go well either. So you know, then you realise that this is this is exactly what's planned. You're exactly where they wanted you to be. It's gone out again. Jeez, I don't know if it's just it's so cold. They're proper cigarettes as well. They're not roll-ups. Yeah. So yeah, coincidences, they absolutely happen. Coincidences happen all the time, but you know, this isn't coincidence like I thought of a rainbow and then a rainbow appeared. You know, that would be a kind of coincidence, wouldn't it? But or you turn up to a part. I mean, this is for people that aren't being fucking gang stalked. If you turned up to a party or a do and someone was wearing the same outfit as you, then you know you could say, if you're not a target and they don't have fucking cameras throughout your house and they're not following you everywhere watching how you dress and what you buy, then you could say that's a coincidence. But people don't just mention the same words and phrases over and over again to you, and say the same things and put these same people in your environment and as a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. That's planned action. That's you know, they absolutely know what they're doing, and yeah, it's sad. It really is. It really is sad. It's, you know, to the type of people that involve themselves in this, that I don't know, they, you know, and people are, like I said, I watch a lot on YouTube. I watch a lot of other other people making videos, and you know, some of them will kind of focus on, like I said before, you know, everybody's doing this, every single person in the world, and other ones will kind of focus on, you know, what could be referred to as the dregs of society, you know, the junkies on the street just doing it, and it's much deeper than that. It really is. I've had experience of, in my situation, that the people involved in this, they're from all sorts of, all positions in the class system, you know, from lawyers. Absolutely, there was lawyers involved in my situation, and doctors, to, you know, every fucking position on the ladder that you could think of. So I don't know. It's you can't class people into one box. It's just this section of society doing it, but because it's most definitely not. I'm gonna have to end this again because I'm running up to my 15 minutes. So I'll be back in a minute. Bye bye.